Hi everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks for joining me for another Fun Fold Friday. Today we are making a reverse pleated gatefold card. So it's kind of backwards, but I think it's really cool. So it will go in your envelope like this, and then it will sit nice. This is what it will look like if you're looking at it dead on. And then you can actually decorate these if you want, or just keep this strip here. So I really think it's a cool card, and we are going to use the same products. We're going to make it a little bit different, but I need some masculine birthday cards. You could actually make this a Father's Day card, but I figured I usually use different products, but I'm using the same just to catch up on my masculine cards. So I use the Scenic Coast Designer Series paper. And this paper, if you haven't seen it, it is really amazing. I don't know if you can see, there's this shine here. So the reflections, the top part of the pages, or the paper, is kind of plain. And then the bottom has this iridescent kind of reflection. And it's on one side. The other side is just plain. But there's all these different, I hope you can see what it looks like. It's really amazing when you look at it, and I'm sure you've seen it because it's been all over YouTube and Facebook, but in case you haven't, it's all these beautiful sunsets. So we're using this today, and then I use the die cuts from the it's a bundle, but I didn't use the stamp, the Sun Coast dies. So I used this sailboat, and this time we're going to use this lighthouse. And then I did not use these. These are great. It's happy retirement, happy anniversary, congratulations. It's got all these adventures and those kinds of sentiments. But I wanted to make birthday cards, so I ended up using the banner sayings. This is great. It has a punch. There's the punch that goes with it. That punches out. It's all kind of small, which I wanted small. I didn't want to take away too much from this card. So these punch out this. So we're going to use all of this again on today's card. Okay, so I picked out two pieces of the Designer Series paper. We're going to use this one, and then on this circle, I used my blending brushes. I punched a circle. It's what is it, a 2-inch circle, or let me just see, 2.5-inch circle. And then I blended some crushed curry. Do I have that? Crushed curry and some strawberry slush to give like a sunset look. Those are colors that are in the paper. But this time I'm going to try to use a different sheet of paper and punch right here. That's what I'm going to shoot for. We'll see how it looks. Isn't this pretty? I almost used this, but I went with this for today's card. So let's get started. We are going to have a piece of blueberry bushel. That's the blue in here. You could probably use Night of Navy. I use balmy blue here. But we're going to use blueberry bushel, and we're going to get our trimmer out. This is your standard 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So it's 5.5 by 11, and we are going to score it at 4, no, not at 4 1/4. We've got a lot of scoring to do, so we're going to put our cutting blade up there. We're going to score it 4 times, so we're going to score at 2, and then at 3 1/8, so we'll go to 3 and then 1/8, and then 5 3/8, so 5, 1, 2, 3. It's the 1/8 before the half. And then we have to open up our arm, move things out of the way, and then we want to score at 6.5, and that's after the bend part. 6.5. I think we are done with the trimmer, so I put this away. And then we're going to fold and burnish these. So I just like to fold them first, just get them started, and then we'll get the bone folder out. Okay, so let's get our bone folder and just fold them. And then we'll go over here and do the same thing. And then I'm going to get them in the right folding position and we'll burnish them again. So this is it. We're going to, this is kind of the back side of it. It's almost, so that's the gatefold, but we're doing it this way, right? So let's just make sure we're all nice and burnished. Okay. This is a very easy card. I know I say that a lot. The reason I wanted to show you this is I wanted to show you how I cut this so that it's kind of, I mean, there's space between them, but the scene kind of continues. So this piece in the middle is 2 inches by 5 1/4, and then these are each 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So this is a 6 by 6 piece of paper, and I want this in the center. So this is what I did. We do need the trimmer again. This is 6 inches. So that means I could do 2, 2, and 2. So the middle would be 2. I want to take, these need to be 1 3/4. So I'm going to take, first I'm going to take, it's also 5 1/2. So there's a lot. I'm going to take, this is 6 inches. So I'm going to take a 1/4 off the bottom. Oops. And a 1/4 off the top. Actually, I think that's too small. So that's a 1/2. So that's 5 1/2. We want to get, I should have taken a little bit more off. So I'm going to take a little bit more off the top. I think that's like an 1/8. And then we're going to go to 5 1/4. So the bottom line is you want this to be 5 1/4. So I guess I should have taken 3/8 off of each side, but it doesn't matter. You could take the whole 3/4 of an inch off the top or the bottom, but I kind of wanted it to be equal. Then I want to cut the 2 inch, the 2 inch, and the 2 inch. I want to take, this is 1 3/4. So I'm going to take a 1/4 of an inch. Is that a 1/4? 1/2. Yep. 1/4 of an inch off here. And if you don't have a pattern like this, you don't have to do any of this. You just cut your paper. And you don't even have to use the same, you can use the middle. Could be different than the sides if you wanted to. So however you want to do it. But I thought I would demonstrate this so you can make it like this. But if you don't have a pattern that goes across, you just cut your paper. So this piece is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, 2 by 5 1/4, 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so we're going to do 1 3/4 here, and hopefully this works. And then we're going to do 2. And then this should be 1 3/4 if we measured right. Okay, so we've got our pieces. We're going to keep them in order and put this away. So now what we want to do is just adhere these pieces. If you wanted to use a mat between them, you could just cut them all down 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, depending on how big your mat is. And we're just going to lay this on this outside area. Try to get it straight with an even border. Then we're going to skip this and we're going to do the middle piece, the 2 inch piece, and put that right in the middle. Try to eye it so that your top and bottom go along nicely. All right. And you can, if you had more than 6 inch piece of paper, you can put it in each of these spots if you wanted to. Not necessary, but it would be nice to do. Make it a little bit prettier. I love this paper. I love the colors in it. So my big news is I just got back from my Alaska trip, and it was totally amazing. Stampin' Up! Really took care of us. So it's a trip I earned for my sales. So thank you for all of you who purchased from me. And it was a trip we had a day in Seattle, and then we had a cruise to Alaska. We went to Sitka, Skagway, Juneau, and then Victoria in British Columbia. If you wanted to see any pictures, they're on my Facebook page, and we just had an amazing time. The food was good. I met a lot of top, Stampin' Up! People, which is exciting for me. I met Shelly, who's the founder, and Sarah, who's the CEO. So they gave us prizes and showed us a new product and really treated us like royalty. So it's pretty cool. All right, so the next step is I'm going to create this circle here. I'm going to try it and see how this goes. I kind of want this area. I hate to ruin this, but maybe I can use this paper. It's a little bit, I think I want to go, well, I guess that's probably pretty good. Let's see how it is. So I might be able to use this and cover this up with something for another project. See, so it's got the purple in it and the yellow, so I thought that would be nice. What do you think? And then we're going to do this lighthouse, and let me show you how I did that, because that was a little bit different as well. I have a piece of blueberry bushel, and I am going to take this die here. So I did the same thing with the sailboat that I'm going to do at the lighthouse. And I just will cut it, die cut it. Let me get these out of the way and get my machine out. And let me get just my top plate. So I like to hang my top plate over a little bit. So it's hanging over in the front. So when it goes through, it's not such a big bump in the beginning. The sandwich isn't as thick at the very first part. All right, so let's get rid of this. And these. So now we have this. It's kind of strange because it cut it out right like that, right? So I'm going to save this to cut out my birds, and we'll put this back. I have these seagulls. We'll put that right on there, and I'll probably step away to do that. So what I will do is just cut off the bottom of this. And I'm going to use that same circle punch, the 2-inch circle punch, and I'm going to put it in here to get this, the water, everything's going to fall apart. So just save the pieces. So what I did with this one, where's my card? With this one, these water pieces kind of came apart. So I just glued them down. I'm going to try that with this. So these pieces, I don't think we need some of these pieces. Let me get my tool here. Oops, I'm going to just pull that off. And we've got all these little pieces to punch out for the lighthouse. And I thought that putting this on this lighter color would make it look pretty, kind of like a yellow, like a light. Do I have them all? There's one more here. So these pieces I want to put away. I think I might need some of these, but I'm not sure. We're gonna see how it goes. So this is going to come right here like that. And then I don't know if we can figure out where to put this, if we want to put it, or we could just move this down. What do you think? Maybe we'll just put this like this. Okay, so forget these other pieces. I did that with the water here, but I think we're going to be okay with this. So let me get my silicone mat, because we're going to put glue on this and part of it will hang off, and then we'll cut it. Oops, I got a little goober on there. So just going to put some glue on the lighthouse, and then we're going to trim it down once it's glued to the circle. Okay, so we went whale watching. We saw a whole bunch of whales. We saw a bear, sea lions, eagles. It was really, Alaska's amazing. It was light till about 9:30 at night, and then that sun was up at 5 in the morning. It was really like you're awake. All of a sudden the sun is up and shining, but it was all good. So I'm going to just trim this off on the back. And when we went to Victoria, I said, I want to live there. The temperature is beautiful there all the time. They have the amazing Bouchard Gardens. And I love flowers, so I was in my happy place there for sure. It was just gorgeous. So let's put this aside. And this is going to go here. I probably can put the happy birthday up here. I didn't know really where to put it, and I thought it was good hanging over. But you could center it, or you could put something up here. So I'm going to just step away for a minute and cut out. You get 3 birds, and I figured I would just use this. So these are the 3 birds you get, and we can put more than one on. I mean, we could put one up here. I don't know, what do you think of that? How's that? That looks pretty cool, right? All right, so let's put a little bit of glue on this little bird. Let me get this mat out again, because I will get glue in the wrong place. Just know that will happen. This is a lot of glue for this little piece. Just need to get it a little bit on. And then let's get this one here. And this one here. I like the birds. The seagulls. There are no eagles, but they're seagulls. We saw a lot of seagulls too. And my son came with me on the trip, and he was very impressed with how we were treated. We got to spin the wheel every day and get a prize, new product, so that was fun. And this was my first trip, so I was able to participate in the first timers. We had a time with bumper cars, which really wasn't my thing. I did it once, and that was enough for me. But they had, you know, like arcade games and things like that. So that was fun. And I'm going to put this down with dimensionals. And then we'll do the sentiment. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm do a happy birthday. My brother's a big sailor, so I'll probably save this for him. And then my other brother, he likes the water, lighthouses, so I may do that, or some other men in my life. I also do a ministry at my church, and it's always hard to get men. You know, I have a million floral cards because I love that. But sometimes you need to make them for the men. So I'm using the Blueberry Bushel stamp or ink pad, and then I did use the banner sayings, which I showed you before. So I love the happy birthday, and then here's to you, cue the confetti, celebrate, wishing you good things. That's what I used, and I think I'm going to use it again because I like that. But this is a great set to have. It's sometimes you just want a small sentiment, right? And I'm going to do this end. And I also have a piece, it fell on the floor, for the inside. So this also is 2 by 5 1/4. So let's do the inside. Wishing you good things. Let's get this straight. It's good to be back home, though. My little Bailey missed me. He was at my sister-in-law's, and they have a fenced-in yard, and he has a great time there. But I know he missed me. So this one, you're going to unlock it, and you can, you know, either do the banner, the 2 banners, or the point. But I want the point, say, facing the other way, so you just put it in. If you wanted the banner facing this way, I like the point. So just get it, kind of close it a little bit before you click it and get it straight. Kind of fine tune it a little bit. And then we can put this down with dimensionals and put this down just flat. Let me find my dimensionals. And I'm going to stay away from the point with the dimensionals because I'm going to have it hang over a little bit again. And again, if you want it right here, you want the both banners, however you want to do it. I kind of like it hanging off here a little bit. Okay, and then let's put this down on the inside. And I put the sequins on this, but I have the birds on this one, so maybe I won't do it. We'll see. I never know exactly what I'm going to do until I get there. Do you do that? You kind of wing it, and I mean, I have a base plan in my head. Oh, and I didn't put any of the paper on this. I got a piece from another card that I had as a scrap. So this is 2 by 3/4 of an inch. Just kind of finishes it off. So that's the inside. If you wanted to stamp something else, and again, if you wanted to decorate these, you can use a couple of these sheets and go for it. Do you think we need some bling? I don't think we do. We've got the birds. I think that's good enough. So this one, I use these sequins. What are they called? The Sunset Sparkle sequins. So I just use some of the clear. You could use any of these colors, really. So these are reverse pleated cards, and again, I love the way they kind of stamp up. You put them on a shelf or a hospital windowsill or something like that if you wanted to. And you can use whatever papers you want. Again, I used it to create the scene, but you can use different paper here than you have here, however you want to do it. And this is from my June calendar. If you subscribe to my email list, you get this each month, and it's just inspiration, and you know, you get ideas of things to make. I always do a Friday fun fold or a technique. Last week I did the spotlight technique. Next week we're doing a triple point card. Ooh, that sounds hard. I do color combos on Thursdays. Let me show you yesterday's card. I just love the way this turned out. This is the color combo for this week. So early espresso, garden green, and hydrangea hue. And I don't know, it really makes me feel happy. I love it. So for this card, I used the Floral Spray 3D embossing folder. Really pretty. And what I did was I just opened it up and I dragged on this side that says Stampin' Up. That's kind of the background. Like if you feel, you'll feel that the flower goes in and this background is smooth. Where if you use this side, you would be coloring the flowers and everything. So what I did was I dragged my early espresso ink pad lightly over this. And then I put my card stock, my white piece, on it where I wanted it. Just lay it flat, close it up, and run it through. And then when I was done with that, I took some small blending pens or blending brushes and I just used hydrangea hue for the blue and then garden green for the green. And I just went around and did that. And I love how it turned out. It's kind of a rustic looking card. So this was yesterday's color combo. And this is on my blog and on my Facebook page. I don't really do videos for these other things. I always do sketches. I do sketches actually twice a week. And what else? And then just reminders to make your birthday cards for the following month, and just some different things you can do. So if you want this, there's a link below that you can click on to sign up to subscribe to my email list, and then you'll get this each month along with other emails from me. And what else? I think that is it. Next week I will be doing the triple point card. So have a great week and come back next week. I hope to see you. Bye.